What's up, YouTube fans? Today we're going to look at the Gundam Universe Wave 3, which includes GU-07 Wing Gundam 0, GU-08, or Gundam EZ-8, and then GU-09 Strike Gundam. So this is the third wave of Gundam Universe. I have already taken a look at and reviewed the first two waves. The only ones I didn't really get are the Unicorn Gundams. I'm not really a big fan of those toys and the series, but all the rest I've been getting. So this wave, I like all three. So I got all three. By the way, I got this from Nate's Toys and Collectibles. Really good guy to deal with. He has a store on Facebook. Click the link in the description below if you're interested. He's got all sorts of stuff, not just Transformers, not just Gundam. Every kind of action figure you could think of from every line and every company. So he can really find almost anything for you that you're looking for. Obviously some things, that are harder to find, prices will be higher, but generally speaking, his prices are the lowest I've seen anywhere. So check him out. Really good store. With that, we're going to go through the entire wave in one video. I figured rather than stretch it out, we'll just show you everything. So we'll start in order. We'll go from GU-07 through to GU-09, and we'll show you everything for each figure. So let's get started with GU-07. Here he comes out of the box. He comes with a lot of accessories. We'll go over the accessories, but I wanted to show you first how he articulates without all the wings and the accessories. A lot of stuff he comes with. And also I wanted to give you a look at the figure with all the accessories on him. So there's a lot of nice paint on this. So you got the blue paint here, the metallic green there. You got a little bit of sheen to this hip skirt there, and same on here. You got these gold pieces here, gold on the crest of the head. You got the green there, you got the green here. I believe this is just a red plastic, same here, red plastic. Continuing down, you have the, I believe, red plastic and maybe painted white there on the back. Pretty nice. You got this backpack here. This backpack does come off, so if you don't want the wings, you could take off this little backpack. This feels like die cast with plastic pieces in it. The main wings, or the, I guess they call them the large wings, go up here, and then the small stabilizer wings go down here. But if you can take it off completely and just set that aside, here's what he looks like with all that taken off. These figures come apart pretty easily. They're all in ball joints, so it's nice. You can mod things if you need to. But all around, really nice looking figure. I love the way he looks. You do have, let's go over articulation before we get them all loaded up. So the head is on a double ball peg. So you have a peg inside and a peg inside the head. You get down to there, up to there. Not too much. It's a little bit hindered by its own, molding, unfortunately. Yeah, rotation at the shoulder. It is on a double ball peg, so barbell system. You have the butterfly joint there. You get shoulder up to there, down to there. And again, it is hindered a little bit by its own. You can get the shoulder out to there. You have a rotation at the upper joint right here at the bicep. You get a double jointed elbow, gets you up to there. The hands rotate, and they also go in and out and are on a ball joint here. You just pull them out to replace them. You just pull them off and then put the new replacement hand in there. I've already put the gripping hands on it. So he comes with the fisted hand. And I really, as soon as I get these figures, I take off these fisted hands and put on these gripping hands, because pretty much always he's going to be holding weapons. But you do have this option to have the gripping hands here. This one has a trigger finger on it, whereas this one is just a gripping hand. Continuing downwards, you do have a ball jointed ab, so it goes down to there, back to there, a little bit of side to side, and then it rotates on that ball joint. You can shimmy that joint back and forth, but there's a lot of stuff in the way. Continuing down, you have hip skirts here. They are really sharp and pointy, and I'm always afraid to break them. I haven't broken them so far, but you have hip skirts here that go up and down. They are a little bit, they get in their own way, but they really look good. These ones don't really move too far, but these go up and down quite a bit. On the back, it's just got a fixed hip skirt that doesn't move. Although if you wanted to, you can take this whole piece off If you wanted to get something, where his leg wants to go really far back, you can take that off. Again, all these figures are modular, so you can take stuff apart. Moving down, you have a double jointed knee, although it almost feels like they've intentionally blocked it from articulating. I don't know why. They could have easily had a little bit more of a cut in the upper leg and the bottom leg, but they don't. So there's a double jointed knee that only goes up to there. It's basically 90 degrees, even though you have a double jointed knee. I don't understand why they would do that. They've been doing that for pretty much all the figures, maybe just to distinguish it from the other lines, but that just seems like a strange choice to me. You do have a little bit of a articulation here on this, I guess, toe cover or toe shield, foot shield, whatever you want to call this. This does pop off. It's just on a 2 pins here. You can just pop this off if you want to. It's a little bit, loose, but it goes right back on. And then you got the ankle is on a ball joint. So the foot goes a lot of movement. You go down to there, up to there, rotates around, side to side, everything you could possibly want in that foot. Really nice, well done joint in there. And it mostly because there's a joint here and here on the bottom. So you get a lot of movement out of that joint. You can really get some good solid foot poses with that. This doesn't articulate at all, but we're going to put this back on. And now we're going to show you the accessories. So the wings are kind of the first thing we have to take care of. I'll show you how they come out of the box. So here are all the accessories you get with this guy. You get quite a bit of stuff. When I opened this package, it was pretty heavy, and it was mostly because of the wing packaging, but there's some other stuff too. So I already showed you, you get the 2 fists. We'll set those aside. You get the standard adapter for the stage act stands that Bandai makes. You get the dual buster rifle, which splits in half and makes 2 rifles, and it's got that nice green, I don't know if that's paint or a sticker, but it looks good, reflective green. And you get these muzzles, which look like silencers to me. Again, I don't know in the show what the significance of these muzzles are, but I would just put them on there and leave them on there on the rifles, right? And then we get all these wing parts. So the wing requires a little bit of assembly. So the way you know which side is which, the lines should be pointing forward on these bigger pieces. These aren't labeled, but these pieces are labeled. So if you look right here, it says R. So we know this is the right side. So this is going to go over here. And you basically want to have it so the R is covered up. So you're going to put that down this way. It only fits one place. It fits very securely on here. It's got a pretty good fitment and a good tolerance there. Same for this one. This says R as well. You're going to cover up that R, put that face down on this side. Now that's one wing assembled. Do the same thing on the other side. Right, now that you get those done, we can turn him around and we're going to get those installed. So you want to get these stabilizer wings. These are universal. They're the same, so you can put them in either one. So you put those in this bottom piece, and make sure you have this pushed all the way in. It should be pegged in. Right, then same for this one. Go ahead and push this one in. Our next we'll install the larger wings, and you've got the right one. You've got the lines facing forward. So this is going to be his right side. Get that up there. And now we'll do this other side. There we go. And there he is with the wings installed. They are a little bit hefty, but he can hold them up. And it looks really good. Just crazy. I mean, look how big this guy gets. It's insane. And then you can get this Buster Rifle. So the Buster Rifle really intended to be dual wielded, so you can bend the arms inwards and use those butterfly joints to get the hands together. And then just get these pegged into his hands. So there he is holding the Buster Rifle. It kind of looks like he's looking down the sight of it. And to make this kind of a better pose, you kind of got to get his legs up, get the wings out, give him a look like he's flying kind of thing. Get these down. And then you can use Tamashi Stage Act. Now you can use the adapter piece, but I find that this is just kind of loose because he's so heavy. So let's try this and see if this will hold him. I don't know if it will. He's a little bit on the heavy side compared to some of the other Bandai figures that we've been, or the other Gundam Universe figures. Oh, it does hold. There we go. So there he is. Pretty incredible looking piece. I mean, it does take up a little bit of space on your shelf because the wings are just gigantic, but what an impressive look. So I really like that. I think they did a good job with this. The twin buster rifle is definitely my speed. Now if you don't like that, you can split the barrels apart and you can have a different look. So, but yeah, I mean, he looks really good. So that's really it for the Wing Gundam 0. Let's get in the next figure. Here we have the Gundam EZ8. And pretty cool looking. This is probably one of my favorites so far. So you got a quick 360. There is some paint on this guy. You got the painted, or I guess maybe it's a tampoed number there. Got some red paint on the back of the helmet. Not really a lot of details on this. There's some red paint on the helmet and the structure, but overall not a lot of paint on the figure itself. You do get quite a few accessories. So you do have the backpack, which has boosters on it, and they're painted black. And that just fits right here on the back, just like that. You do have a machine gun, painted black. Looks nice. 100 millimeter machine gun. You get the shield, which is numbered differently. So this says 08. Not really sure the reference. I know this is the backstory on this guy is he was remade from another Gundam, so maybe he got parts from other places. But you do need this adapter, so this adapter basically plugs into his arm. There's only one way to put it in. You see there's a longer tab there that goes towards the front. You just fit that right onto his arm like that, and then the ball peg, or whatever you call this, sort of a ball peg, not quite, just fits into there, and you get a little bit of articulation out of that ball joint. So there's that shield, and then the hands. You get two alternate hands. You get the gripping with the trigger finger hand, and that's good for holding this gun. So if you want him to be holding this and sort of have his trigger finger in there, you can do that. There you go. There he is holding a gun with the trigger finger. And you can get that into his hand just like all the others. Just a ball peg that fits in. And we might as well replace the other one because I never use the gripping hands anyways. I always replace them with these. And then finally you get the beam saber handle and the actual beam, just like every other one. You just fit that into there. These are pretty robust. I thought maybe these would be breakable, but they're bendy plastic and they don't seem to break very easily. So you can put that into his hand if you want to. He's got all the weapons. And there you go. Pretty cool looking. He's got a lot of stuff going on here. Let's go over articulation. I really do like the head, by the way. It's got that really cool antenna. I haven't seen a lot of the Gundams with the antenna like that. Most of the time they have the crest that kind of, bows out from the head. So I kind of like this. But again, same problem as the other heads in this set. The molding prevents you from getting all of the articulation. So because of what's on the back of the head, you got a little bit of extra plastic there. It does tend to get in the way. You can't get the head up a little bit, down a little bit. But generally speaking, the neck is not very well articulated. And he does rotate all the way around. Rotation at the shoulder, you have this shoulder piece is on its own piece, and then you have the ball joint that gives you the butterfly joint here, which is nice. Rotation at the bicep. Double jointed elbow gets you up to there. And rotation at the wrist, and it's on a ball, so you get that normal ball joint movement there. The abs are on also a ball joint as well, so you get a rotation there. A little bit hindered by the build of this guy. And then you get an ab crunch. Not too much. It's a little bit limited there too. It's really almost negligible. You almost get nothing. Continuing down, you have hip skirts, and these hip skirts, they're a little bit hindered. This guy doesn't have a lot of articulation. Just he's a big, blocky, chunky guy, so maybe he's not supposed to be, very articulated, but it does feel a little bit hindered by just its own build. And that's the sense you get with this line, is it's kind of like, well, they didn't bother to give it the extra articulation. There's a leg, goes up to there, back to there, hindered by this back panel. Just like the others, you can remove this back panel if you wanted to. You could get a little bit more. And out to the side, you get the all the way up, but it does tend to knock off this hip skirt. Now you can't pull the hip skirts out on those pegs. So if you wanted to get them a little bit further, just don't push it all the way in, then you can get out a little bit higher. All right, continuing down, we do have a double jointed knee, but again, limited 90 degrees because of the sculpting, which seems like a very easy fix. Just cut a little bit more. Cut a little bit more here and here, and you could get it. In fact, I'm tempted to cut it. I feel like I could cut it right here, and I could get more of a bend. But he is a big chunky guy, so maybe he's not meant to have all that articulation. Your rotation at the thigh. You do have a really, again, another nicely done ankle. So you got the ball joint at the bottom of the foot. It allows you to go rocker in both directions, and then forward and backward. And you got the upper joint there on a ball. So between that, you get a lot of movement out of those ankles. And I definitely like the fact that they have good ankle tilts, or good ankle movement on these guys. Oh, the shield is painted, by the way. You do have the number and then this blue paint here. But overall, really nice looking. I like the look of this guy a lot. And here is the final figure in this wave. This is the Strike Gundam, or GATX-105. Really cool looking. This is very similar color pattern than the RX-78. Really like the look of this. So here, let's take a quick 360. Again, not a lot of paint on this one either. There is a little bit of paint on the head and the crest there. But overall, just pretty much gray plastic or white plastic. That's the reason why I had to change my background. Pretty much a lot of white plastic makes it hard for you to see. So let's take a look at his accessories. It comes with quite a bit of stuff. So again, we're going to change out the hands right away. Take off these fist hands. And we'll put on the gripping hands. I pretty much throw those fist hands back in the box. Take off this one, and we'll put the gripping hand. Now this one doesn't have the same thing as the others, right? You got one gripping hand with a trigger finger and then one without. And the reason you need that is you've got a gun with potentially a trigger. So let's see. I think you slide it in this way. You can get it in his hand, and yes, the trigger finger fits around the trigger there, which looks really good. I believe if you want to, let's see if you can. Yes, he can dual wield it if you want. You can get him kind of holding this, and there you go. Good looking gun. I like that. You can also use some of his other weapons. So he does have these knives, kind of like G.I. Joe, but I like these a little bit better. They're cleaner, nicer plastic than what we got with the G.I. Joe figures. But you can do it either way. You can have it either up or down. And you can hold it reverse grip if you want. Looks good with that. Also, you get the shield. So it actually comes like this. And basically you just assemble this together. And then you use this tab in the side of the arm. So let's just take this out. Get this handle into the hand. And then you'll tab this into the side of the arm. And there you go. There's his shield. And that looks really good. Nice looking shield. It's got that gold paint down the side and down the middle and on the sides. Looks really nice. Matches with his head crest there. Really good looking figure overall. I do like the way they've been doing these. If you like the just kind of naked look, unfortunately you can't mount this shield anywhere else. It doesn't really fit. I thought maybe it would fit in. There's a slot right in the back. And I was trying to figure out what that's for, but you just have that peg and there's nothing that fits in there, so I'm not really sure what you're supposed to do with it. You know, I thought maybe this would fit here or something so you could store it on the back. It's close, but just not quite right. So I don't know, I'm not sure, but this definitely doesn't fit in any way. Seems like they could have engineered something there. All right. Let's just show the two knives so you can kind of see how that looks. It does come with two, so you can get him ready for battle. All right, let's go over articulation on this guy. So similar to the other ones, he does have the same head problem. He's got that really long back of the head there, which kind of hinders him. I don't know why they're doing that. They could have just made this a little bit better articulation. So it does rotate all the way around. It's a little bit hindered, even trying to get over the edge of the neck, because you got that piece right here. Your rotation at the shoulder, really nice and tight there. This piece moves independently, and then you have the same butterfly joint that we always get, that double ball peg in the shoulder, so you get some good movement there. Rotation at the bicep, although this one's a little bit squeakier. It's got double jointed elbow there for the arm. Moving downwards, you do have a ab crunch here, so you get not a lot, a little bit. Now I found that there's a lot more movement in there, but this piece in the middle is really blocking him being able to bend a little bit more. So if you pop off the top of his torso and you take this piece off, this bottom torso piece, and you pop this back on, you seem to get a lot more movement out of that. So it rotates a little bit better, it goes side to side a little bit better, and you get, you know, a little bit more crunch. So just a strange decision. You could probably do it without it, but he does look a little bit on the skinny side now without that. But there's an option. If you wanted it, you can do that. Let's put that back. I just want to show you that that is an option. All of these figures work the same way. They all come apart, and you can kind of change stuff up if you wanted to. You can take panels off like this. So they all kind of work that same way. Moving down on the figure, you do have hip skirts here and here. So you can get the leg up to there. If you pull this hip skirt out a little bit, you can wiggle it up, and then you can get it up to there, out to the side, and then on the back, again, hindered by this back panel here. Rotation at the thigh. Double jointed knee, once again, blocked by its own molding. Very strange decisions there. You get a very, very big ankle tilt. So basically rotates all the way around. It tilts that much that way, this way. You have a little bit of a ankle cover here, so that is pegged right there on a ball peg, so you can get that pretty much in any direction you want. So again, really cool, really nice articulation. You can get some good movement on this guy. And if you like the knives, you can use the knives, or you can use the shield and the gun. The gun does have a little bit of paint, that tiny little bit of blue paint there. So that's really it for the Strike Gundam. So there you have it, the Gundam Universe Wave 3, GU-07, GU-08, and GU-09. I really like this set. I do wish there was a little bit more articulation in the head, because you end up having issues like this where the head can't really look up, so you can't see the eyes, and the eyes look really good. I don't even know if I ever got in close. It's a good looking head sculpt, but the problem is he ends up looking down because you got that hindrance. Same for the Strike Gundam. He's got that head that's just kind of looking down. Can't really get it to look up. And so that ends up, if you've got it on a shelf, you kind of have to position it so you can actually see the face. I do like the Wing Gundam a lot. These wings are just really cool. And if you've got one of these stands, then that just makes it even better, because you can get them in one of these poses like this. And it just looks really cool. It's a really nice piece for $24. I think these are $24 each. Or $25. I got these from Nate's Toys and Collectibles. He was selling them for $63 for the whole set, which is a great value, great deal, much better than the retail price. So I highly recommend checking out Nate's store. I do like these. I recommend these if you're looking for a Gundam that you don't have to build. Most Gundams it's a set you have to build, and some people don't like to do that. I will be getting the Gundam Perfect Grade RX-78 Unleashed. That is coming in later this year, or maybe it's earlier next year. And that's a build. So that's a very, very complex build. We're going to do that. I'm going to have it all on camera. I'm going to show you how to build it. I'm going to show you all the features. So normally I've been looking just at these, but we're going to look at a real Gundam Perfect Grade. Apparently the best Perfect Grade ever made. So stay tuned for that. Thanks for watching. If you like these, go ahead and check out my other Gundam Universe videos. But that's it for today. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.